Hello, everyone. This is PsychicUnderLord. Going live today. I want to share some things with our audience here on YouTube. Positive things, uplifting things. I'm going to try something a little different with this format. I want to share today about romantic mistakes that threaten relationships. And this is something that people go in and out of, looking for love, looking for acceptance, to the point that nothing is too low for me. As long as I'm able to get what I'm getting, as long as I'm able to hold my head high and not feel ashamed of how I'm living, of what I've become, as long as I can be that person, that one that they say that's what love is for. Who wants to be alone? Who in their right mind would want to be alone? And these are the things that echo in our minds, echo in our hearts. The loneliness, the feeling of wanting to be with someone. And in the matrix, selecting what comes before me, not realizing that there are all kinds of reasons why this person is here. Karmic, ascended, and spiritual reasons why this person is in my life. And it's very difficult to know what to choose and why to choose. So with this new format, as far as this podcast, I want to go into 7 romantic mistakes that threaten relationships. And I'm talking about from the perspective of PsychicUnderLord, not from the perspective of the world or what other people are saying or what type of ideas come from television. But you and I know that there are things that have torn apart our relationships. It's only going to take a few minutes for me to really dig into this, but I want to read this. I prepared this. Love is supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to lift, bring you peace, and help you to grow. But for many people, relationships become a source of pain, confusion, and repeated heartbreak. Why does this happen? This answer isn't always what you'd expect. While communication skills and compatibility matter, there is a deeper layer most people never consider: the spiritual dimension of romantic connection that comes from beyond. This has tied you to this person. How do we describe it? Is it love? Is it lust? At PsychicUnderLord, we have seen how unseen blockages, karmic patterns, and demonic influences can quietly destroy, please hold on with me, even the most promising relationships. Here are 7 romantic mistakes that threaten relationships and the spiritual truths that can help you to avoid these mistakes. The first mistake that we have when it comes to relationships, it's not as obvious as what you would think it is. This first mistake is repeating the same relationship patterns over and over again. You leave one toxic, and the idea is if we can get these patterns cleared up before we enter and engage deeply into these relationships. You leave one toxic relationship only to find yourself in another, and it's almost by accident. A different person, same problems, a different face, the same pain. I'm not here to minimize your pain, beloved. I'm not here to say that you've done something wrong. I'm just putting this out on the table. Walk with me through this process of healing today. This isn't bad luck. This is the destiny control matrix at work. The destiny control matrix is what the world has prepared for you based on karma and bloodline. We're talking about karma, every last thing that your parents did, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, all of the lineage, their actions, their behaviors, the crisscross and the ties that have been a part of their physical reality on earth, because there's karma. So the karma of all your parents and forefathers and foremothers at the moment that they conceived you. Oh God, you were born into something. The bloodline. We're talking about the legacy of the life of your lineage on earth. The actual physical bloodline is active when it comes to the continuity of life on earth. Life springs forth, and it also carries weight. It carries gravity. Oh God. The electromagnetic center of the earth, every mineral and nutrient on this planet is a part of how you've been created. We can't demineralize human beings to put them onto some place where they haven't been nourished without tearing their flesh from limb to limb. You have belonged here because the earth has set you here for learning and growth through the karmic process. This is a raw journey that your ancestors walked and passed down to you. Without spiritual intervention, you're simply living out cycles that were programmed before you were even born. The raw composite of who you are. And you say, oh, well, I've been able to dye my hair. I can change my identity. I can become whoever I want. I was poor when I was born and I got a scholarship, so now I'm rich. These are the complexities of the world. Because you were given things, and because you were privy to things, and you were exposed to things, this took you on a journey out of what you could have become. So because of all the prosperity and the blessing and the wondrous way that we've set up a socialist society where we have society to lean upon, there are mistakes in that as well, that people have survived who should have never survived. That changes the deck of karma as well. So instead of checkers, where you have a certain percentage of the population just perish in the wintertime because of the elements. Now we have gas and electric companies, we have heating companies, we have central heat, we have air conditioning in the summer, preserving life, preserving things that should have never been and would have never been had it not been for technology. So we must include technology in our advancement. And in romance, the process of you repeating patterns shows up as attracting the same kind of type of unavailable or toxic partner. You're not wrong. You're not forgotten. Recreating your parents' relationship dynamics. If I can't do what my parents did, I'm ashamed. We carry the shame of our parents and not being able to fulfill or fill their shoes, and feeling ashamed because our lives are different from theirs. You shouldn't do that. Embrace it. Now, this is hard for me to say because who would want to still feel wrong? Nobody. So, because people feel that in their relationship with, dynamics, their parents are the archetype that they're following, that's a pathway. If you feel driven to do it, go ahead and do it. But it could involve creating patterns that don't serve you. Who knows? I would never want to tear you from your parents or tear you from the tradition of becoming who you are. This is a calling you into the spirit, into the ritual community. Involves change, sabotaging good relationships when they get too close. That's a pattern. Some people say that because they feel afraid when people get too close to them, when the love is too strong, when they feel that they could lose the love or that the love could be found as something as a false love is extremely frightening for many people. So the solution to repeating these patterns is to break these ancestral chains. All of these things in relationships where you feel that uh, I'm holding on to a chain by hook or by crook. You don't want to be in that mode. When you wear ritual on your body, the psychic rituals, you take authority over the principalities that have kept you locked in these patterns. These are ancient deities, principalities, the karmic, as we told you, all the behaviors and all the different things they did when someone uh, possibly killed someone's horse 100 years ago. They had a neighborly dispute, so the person got mad and killed a horse, and subsequently caused their farm to fail. Different things occur, and then the bloodline, what is passed through birth, from birth to birth, what is being carried and what is called forth through the womb, through the triple blackness, into reality that is supposed to be destined. So the pathway that you walk on through the destiny control matrix, through your birth, and through the things of what your forefathers have done. So this is why we see cosmic justice, and also you see amazing things happening. You say, well, how could this have happened? This person had, against all the odds, they were able to succeed. This is a part of the magic of what we are part of in this tradition of life here on earth. The second mistake people have when it comes to relationships is following demonic advice about love. Think about where you get your relationship advice. Friends who are single and bitter, promiscuous, trying but a little too shy. Some people feel that they're running out of time when it comes to their biological clock, and this is frightening for people to really think that they're running out of time. Family members in unhappy marriages will tell you, well, you're not going to find what you think you're going to find. You should go ahead with the first thing that's smoking and then move with that. When it comes to relationships, some people, that's true, they've maintained unhappy marriages and unhappy relationships for a very long time. Social media influences, promoting manipulation tactics, how to get a man, how to get a woman, how to make them love you, how to attract and how to hook. And you say, well, it seems harder than it's ever been, but this is the only experience you have. You don't have the experience of what it was like in the 1920s when people would just marry the person next door, or somebody would say, oh, here's my daughter. She's looking to get married. You get married next week in the 1930s. Things were much simpler. You didn't have to swipe through. You know how many people you've rejected through swiping and through social media? All the people who may have secretly loved you but never had the courage to say to you, I really do love you. I really wish that I could be with you. And they just don't have the confidence. They just don't have the ability to believe, or they have so many other things in the way. Working 40 hours a week, barely making it. And then you say, well, how do people actually meet when all the nightclubs are closed down, all the bars, all the social scene, all the things that even when people didn't have cars and they didn't have all these resources, they had ways to establish social interaction, the church, all kinds of things people did in society before this modern era. But what do? I'm taking advice from someone who doesn't know what I need and doesn't know how I could get it. And I just want to get as much advice as I can because I don't want to be alone. So people are following demonic advice. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Taking advice from those who are demonic, who are in a resistant lifestyle, and blindly following them because of the illusion that you can get something from them, or you can be like them, or you can have what they have, or you can model after them, and you won't have any problems. There are some of the most beautiful, successful people in the world. And the one thing that they just can't seem to do is find someone to love them and appreciate them. How do these people, how do these people manage to make it? Every day they wake up and they say that I can find someone to sleep with me, but I can't find someone to appreciate me or to see anything redemptive in me. And I'm so afraid to open myself up. So, this may eventually lead you to another brick wall of abandonment and loss, following other people's example, the demonic advice about love, the treachery, the dark side of working with dark energies to try to figure out how to get in the zone with someone versus how to authentically move into the space of a healthy friendship and relationship that can go further. That feeling of innocence, of not feeling that you're unprotected or that you have to defend yourself. To get into that space, people say, well, what does it take? Well, you have to start with yourself first. Your body knows the truth about love, but when you're trapped in a demonic atmosphere, surrounded by people operating from fear, people in a nightclub at 1 o'clock or 1:30 scrambling to figure out who they're going to take home with them. And you say, well, I've never been taken home. I've never had someone to really desire me. I want to feel desired. That's a demonic trap, appealing to something in you that has not been healed. You're calling out to receive something, having never put in the effort to work with yourself within, to become the person that you're truly destined to be. How do I heal myself enough to get there? Come with me as we explore this. If you're trapped in a demonic atmosphere where you don't worry about whether love is true or false, don't be surprised by the way that these energies begin to pull you backwards, to stop you from believing that you're worthy and valued, and that love will come your way. Get out of that. When you're trapped in that demonic atmosphere, surrounded by people in jealousy and control, and using money and appearances, and saying, if I look like this person, my options are better, you lose access to that inner knowing. The inner knowing will prepare you so that the energy locks when you meet the right person, but not in a possessive, jealous, hateful way, or feeling that you're going to lose this opportunity. It's actually there for you, it's designed for your energy. So the body knows the truth, but our lives may currently be in a place where we're trapped in that demonic atmosphere that I was mentioning. In social media, comparison, celebrities trying to say, if I only looked or had what they had, it doesn't matter, you know, what I am on the inside, because I have what makes people want me. So they want me, but I don't want myself. You got to get to a point where you truly do love yourself more, to say that I'm precious, I'm desired, I'm desirable, but I have to keep working on myself, continuously work on myself, clearing these influences through ritual allows your natural intuition about love to resurface. When the voices in your head are demonic voices, voices telling you that you're lesser, things that are telling you to trick or to organize or to um, use a numbers game to try to make something happen, to force something to happen, it's it's insane, because you can never keep up and you're always going to be short. But if you're on a spiritual path, you're always going to be ready to move forward. So begin to recognize the genuine connection versus demonic entanglements. Those entanglements, they will pull you in, they will lure you in, but they will also make you extremely sad. You don't want to be sad. You are enough. The third mistake people have when it comes to things that destroy love and destroy romance is letting fear control your romantic decisions. I can't tell you how many times people are trapped in romantic situations based upon fear, and they say that I've invested so much in this, I cannot leave this. I cannot let this go. I'm going to hold on to this till the absolute, because I have no other options to move with it. Fear is the currency of the demonic realm. And in relationships, fear takes many forms. The fear of being alone, If you're afraid of being alone, this, let me tell you, you will lose everything by being afraid of your own company, being afraid of moving into your own spiritual destiny. You will be destroyed. So you settle for less than what you deserve. But in the settling for less, you're also harming yourself. It's self-harming. Don't want to harm yourself. So the fear of abandonment is tragic. If you've ever gone through a situation in your life where you've been abandoned and you carry those things into a relationship, you will be extremely shocked about the self actualized scenario of you repeating these negative things over and over again. When you become clingy or controlling, it's a tactic to protect yourself. You're afraid. The fear of vulnerability, you push away anyone who gets close to you. You don't want to do that. You want to open all these negative aspects, these canals within yourself where there's a confluence of restriction and things that are taking you backwards, recalling, causing you to ruminate on these negative issues in your past. You want to identify these things and heal these things with ritual. And uh, when you have a fear of repeating the past pain, you never fully open your heart. You say, I'm getting smarter. That's what they say, don't they say that? Oh, I'm getting smarter because of my last relationships, but you open your heart less and less and less. Don't do it. Don't do it. Use this broadcast to meditate to yourself, to heal yourself. These are truths. Demonic energy pulls you backward by maintaining toxic energy from fear. It is of the fear is the nourishing nutrient of toxicity. Every decision you make from fear strengthens the demonic hold on your romantic life. And it is so sad when you see young people and they are so beautiful. And I wish that they could see the tenderness and what they truly deserve in a very special way and see the beauty in themselves. But the fear and the demonic energy is pulling them backwards, just like a yoke into the gates of hell. Meanwhile, angelic energy moves you forward through purging. And people say, well, how is it moving me forward when I'm letting things go? I'm afraid to let things go. That's fear again. So you found the answer is by moving forward and letting go what you're technically supposed to let go of, releasing the fears that keep you stuck in unhealthy patterns. So the solution is again, it's psychic rituals from Psychic Underlord. These rituals prevent fear from forcing you back into the curse of Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve thought that they could somehow circumvent the system. The concept is that even when Jesus Christ came, he came as the new covenant. But the old covenant was also a new covenant because he said, don't touch that tree. This is the one thing that I bid you to not do. There was a law right there, and they broke the law. So that is the punishment. And he said what the punishment was. So don't go back into the curse of Adam and Eve, of disobedience, of believing in fear, believing in toxicity and negativity, and saying that I want to have what I want. So what I'm going to do is get surgically altered. I'm going to get different kind of beautifications and ways that somebody I can attract attention and make myself more palatable to these people. So they allow the spirit realm to allow the spirit realm to wear down the blockages that keep you operating from survival mode instead of love. If you're in survival mode, you can't do much. You're going to be in a sick situation. So, chasing the illusion, another mistake people have is chasing the illusion of the perfect relationship. Oh, well, the perfect relationship, isn't that what you're suggesting? No, I'm suggesting the right relationship. Now, right can also be a part of purging and clearing because, as we said before, the angelic realm moves you forward through the purging process. And people might say, oh, well, if we have disagreements and we don't agree 100% on everything, is that a successful relationship? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because you're growing and learning in a scholarly way, in a respectful way, and in a way that's very pleasing and also very satisfying, that you can establish that, and also that you're motivated by one another. This is the type of relationship I'm suggesting to you if you open yourself up to what I've been talking about. Social media has created a generation full of obsession with real relationship aesthetics. Now, these aesthetics are very pleasing. You can have these things in a successful relationship, in the angelic energy moving you forward through purging, so that you both are becoming better with each other, not obsessed, not clingy, not controlling, not where one person's heart is extremely closed and you're milking the other person of their emotions and making them feel that uh, somehow you have to keep giving to me and it's a one-sided thing, and I'm a prisoner of your love and I'm so afraid because I've never really learned how to love and I don't want to take any chances. That is all fear. That is all fear. The perfect couple photos, the elaborate proposals, the fairy tale weddings, seeing these things is is amazing, to see how these relationships look, because this is uh, the aesthetic. Aesthetic in everything is an ideal, but what you're seeing is often the illusion of success. And it's designed to make you suffer if you're not careful, because you don't know if they've set up these perfect couple photos and elaborate proposals just for a social media hit, or to get likes or to get shares, because that is also an addiction. People are addicted to getting uh, validation through social media. And there can be all kinds of things going on in their life, and you would never even know it. But if they can show you Cinderella in the pumpkin, being with a horse-drawn carriage and a fairy tale wedding, you will lose your mind because it's so beautiful. But everything is beautiful because the Lord has created it, even a lie. But the important thing is to know, in the ascension process, when I ascend out of the lie, I'm able to realize what is there for me, what is left for me, not the pain of trying to be something that I'm not the exhaustion of trying to keep up with something that is not meant to be kept up with because it's not real. When you see couples prospering without spiritual foundation, one of two things is happening. This couple, we're talking about the things in relationships that can destroy relationships. This couple, without the spiritual foundation, They're either being blessed by the world, which always comes with hidden and secret sufferings, and their display produces jealousy that casts you down into worldly thinking. And because it's so beautiful in the aesthetics that they put together, who, let's be honest, who wouldn't want to have that? And see, because I want a positive relationship for you, I'm not saying that you have to get rid of everything. I'm just saying the angelic energy moves you forward through purging. The purging may lead you to a horse drawn carriage through Central Park and some type of fantasy proposal or engagement. People, this is the exuberance of what people feel. If someone in your life, you've met someone and they're able to take you to the highest heights of love and romance and experience, why not? Let's just do it in the right way. And we're going to get to that. They're simply so that there's two things happening when they don't have a spiritual foundation. This couple that continuously makes you so jealous, and you're saying this is relationship goals that I have based upon these people that I'm seeing. The other thing is that they're simply exposing you to what you've denied yourself. You can say, hey, I want a horse drawn carriage. I may never have it. I'm 30 years old. I'm 40 years old. I may never have a child. And they're held up the baby. You may have denied yourself this thing. But also, you may be caught up in a jealousy. This may be a jealous trap. And the jealous trap is designed to make you recognize that not everything that looks good is good. The world creates fast winds to motivate people to abandon the spirit realm philosophy. These fast wins, these fast dopamine hits on social media about what it's supposed to be, we also have to recognize many of us, all of us, have been misguided. We've been miseducated. All of us have been shorted of the information that we needed to survive, that we needed to thrive. So we take up these examples, and this is a part of our karmic profile. So as we live and walk in the illusion of what we're going through, also there are things, 1, 2, 3, snap out of it. This could be the moment right there that's exposing me. That is something inside of me yearning and has the ability to do it in the right way. The solution to this situation is seek the spirit first. Real romantic prosperity, the kind that lasts, comes from the internal realm of power, the internal locus. When you address the spiritual dimension of love, the physical manifestation follows naturally. So, wow, I can open myself up to love and not be afraid. Yeah, I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to have fear and tension and toxicity. And they teach this whole thing about romantic tension, maintaining all these type of things to keep people trapped in a circular loop of a lie. And you don't love them. That's crazy. That's crazy that you would get with someone and commit and call yourself committed to a person and not actually love them. I don't want to manipulate someone. You want the spirit realm to set things up so that these people are attracted to you. These people actually come to you, believe in you, have hope in you, cherish and trust you. They want to be a part of the things that you're a part of. They want to encourage and support the things that you're interested in. Genuine attraction, not just infatuation or smoke screens. The next thing, the fifth mistake that people have when it comes to establishing love successfully is bringing uncleared blockages into new relationships. If a person is uncleared, that means that the spirit realm is full of all kinds of ideas that have not been successful. Those unsuccessful ideas build on top of each other just like a tower of Jenga. And then it makes it so that the person doesn't have any other way to rationalize what is happening all around them. So they become dangerous. They become a ninja of deceit and betrayal, a master of disguise, an Inspector Gadget who can take his arms off and replace his arms with different feelings so that when he touches you, in a way it's used to manipulate you and not to affirm and to uplift and to empower you, which can in itself be intoxicating when it's done authentically, and an authentic, loving romance, and sustaining that loving, affectionate, passionate romance, even without sexual activity, but it becomes a spiritual confirmation and something that drives you in a positive way. Where I just want this love to prosper. And I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to harm you. I just want to experience what it means for us to be healed and for us to heal one another in this. And they certainly do. In the angelic realm, moving with that correct romantic energy so that we're able to create and co create together and separately for the good of the nourishment of one another. So when you're uncleared, you might have done the therapy, you might have read the self help books, you might have taken time to work on yourself. But if you haven't addressed your spiritual blockages, you're bringing invisible baggage into every new relationship, not just here or there. The clearing is necessary. The clearing, what is causes clearing? The ritual. Because the things inside you cannot hold you any longer. They break. This is the transformation and the resurfacing and the refurbishment of the physical lifestyle that individuals experience with the psychic rituals from Psychic Underlord. The transformation of your lifestyle is undeniable. And it's not just about money, it's about everything in your life coming to heal and coming into union with the new identity and the new individual that you've become. It's not inhabiting or squatting in a house that you don't belong in, that you authentically feel that is not what you actually deserve, but something that somehow you've been given through some mysterious magic. That's not at all what this is about. So, if you haven't addressed your spiritual blockages, you're bringing invisible baggage into every new relationship. Blockages create asymmetrical pathways in your life where one side is up, the other side's down. One side is up, the other side's down. And to such a degree where it's just like it's insurmountable. There's so much of a discord between the notions of left and right, up and down, good and bad. There's that you end up taking the wrong path, and then you go down one path and you say, oh, well, I lost this whole thing. And so you never get anything off of the ground. So that's what uncleared blockages are. They keep you grounded instead of growing, instead of able to prosper. And you may say, oh, well, there's a little bit of a difference here, but actually it's something that is a welcome change, something that's happening positive, and is actually according to my estimation, it seems that it's for my good. You may have improved your self concept while remaining stuck in your romantic patterns. Some areas of life improve while love remains frozen. So you say, okay, I've progressed in my career, but I still don't have the relationship that I want. So you're rushing and saying, well, how can I make this happen? Because I'm running out of time. And that clock, the dimension of the clock is one of the most horrific things that can befall you. If you are attempting to live your life based on the limitations of time, it's hard to conceptualize actually living forever. And it's also hard to conceptualize that I actually do have enough time to achieve what I'm trying to achieve if I believe in what the Lord is doing for me. So then I'm back in my spirituality to believing in God. He's supposed to be a part of all this stuff. That's what the whole New Testament was for, the tiebreaker. It's Him. He is the one that is above the spirit realm. He even went into hell to prove that He had the authority to ascend to the highest heights of heaven. Satan couldn't do that. He's been forever cast down. And then if you transfer it and convert it energetically to the concept of ascension versus descension, evolution versus de-evolution, and what it takes for people to achieve success in life. Yeah, there are people who have are able to get a nice car, but they're living in a tin shack. Or they have a nice house, but they have no vehicle. Or they have a job, but it's not the job that they want, and they're constantly at odds with it. So the asymmetrical component of leveling out all these things that are uneven, the unclear things, bringing all those things with ritual to the surface so that they can level themselves out. Just like an excavation or archaeology project, the reason how they're able to find archaeology is by the study of topography, the mountains, knowing what things have ascended from. The mountains once were low and they grew through volcanic activity to higher heights because of the volcanic activity beneath them. It kept pushing the magma up, up, and up. So, the way that archaeology works is you have to go deep down into a certain area. And then when you go down into a certain area, everything at that particular level was created and existed in that specific era, in that specific time. So if it's in a village and you see one house, let's say 100 feet down or 200 feet down, and you carbon date it and you say, oh, these are all from 800 or 1,000 years ago. Then if you go 50 or 100 feet away, you find another thing that is an artifact of the same exact era. It's all happens at the same level. And then if you were to go up higher, it goes into a more modern time. So as you ascend, it goes higher and higher toward the present time. So if the ascension rises, it's taking you into the present moment. You're not living in the past. You're not living in fear of what things were. You're growing all the way but you're meeting all these asymmetrical, off kilter things that don't make sense. The ritual wearing process actually heals and corrects these things. One of the most liberating experiences of wearing ritual is the protection it provides, the ability to move people, places, and things out of your life passively, just as we said with the angelic process that moves you forward through purging. It moves these things out of your life without dramatic confrontation. As you clear blockages, it becomes obvious who you can and cannot be around romantically. The wrong people fall away, the right ones have space to enter. And those right ones, they come into your life just as beautifully as they're supposed to, and they maintain just as they're supposed to. You don't have to worry about, am I going to lose this person? Because they will be right for the time, the season, or a lifetime, depending on what you're seeking. So when you start off knowing what you're actually seeking and saying, hey, I wouldn't mind having a relationship. If you start off with that mindset, you're able to closer sojourn toward the possibility of that relationship happening. And when you have the innocence factor of being open and not having fear in the front, allowing your heart to open, to feel, to experience, and say, it's worth it for me to go in this thing with my eyes open this time. It's worth it for me to go into this thing with my heart in a sincere place. What would that take for me to have my heart in a sincere place? All it takes is wearing the ritual, and it happens automatically through Psychic Underlord. The next mistake, the sixth mistake out of seven, is operating in romance without spiritual protection and love. Love makes you vulnerable. When you open your heart to someone, you also open yourself to spiritual influences, both positive and negative. Rituals are necessary for every person living on earth. Without properly placed rituals, you will live under the authority of witchcraft, which has no integrity. And that is automatic. That's not something up for debate where we can say, oh, you can kind of escape this thing if you kind of say enough Hail Marys or you read the Bible. Reading the Bible without having your spirit open to the spiritual action of it does not give you the power or the authority. This is especially true in romance. Without spiritual protection, you're vulnerable to partners carrying demonic attachments. So the person loves you one day, they hate you the next. Or they're calling you and they're calling you, then they're not calling you. Just what is keeping this person from falling in love with me, from being with me in the way that I wish to be with them? Yet I call them forward. It's an attachment. So then you get a ritual for them because now I can see how far this is really supposed to go. You also absorb negative energy from past relationships your partner hasn't cleared. So if your partner hasn't cleared all the different things they've done and they're just like, uh, what do you call it? They had a, promiscuous past and they are not clear. There's, oh, I'm not done with my ex, or say we have a child together and we co-parent, we do all these different things, and I want a new romance because I don't want to be with them, but I still have to be with them. You know, that's an attachment. That should be cleared, whether it's a child or not. That should be cleared, and it should be very simple and easy for them to begin the new process. When it's complicated, there's something there that hasn't been cleared. So you're susceptible to jealousy, manipulation, and spiritual attacks from others who want your relationship to fail if you don't have spiritual protection. Do you know how many times people look at your relationship, even the little bit that they were able to observe, and say, I wish I had that. I don't think that she should. And just the idea that they're thinking negatively about what you should and shouldn't have, what you should and shouldn't receive, when this is your life, that's called witchcraft. When people see you as something that you're not, that is a lie. And in their mind, they've placed a lie instead of the truth, all because of the jealousy and envy and hatred that they have for you. The solution is ritual from Psychic Underlord. The rituals of Psychic Underlord of Ascension Energy, safe, aligned with divine authority, and free from negative consequences. The rituals create a protective barrier around your romantic life while attracting partners who are aligned with your highest good. I can't tell you how many times people have written me saying that, after we got the ritual, just in a matter of weeks, they were able to find someone that's so on their wavelength, so aligned with what they believe and where they want to go in life and how they want to feel. It's absolutely amazing. And there's no risk of you participating because they are aligned with ascension energy. So there's no negative uh, kickbacks or blowback uh, as with other type of spellcasting modalities. The last thing I'm going to cover in this podcast, which is awesome, it's been an awesome day with you, is trying to fix love without addressing free will. Here's the most important truth about romantic relationships. Free will automatically leads to suffering because it's 100% from the demonic realm. I just want to start there. How could my free will be demonic? Because if it's not God, it's you. I just want to say that again. If it's not God, it's you. And you can easily admit and say, oh, it's not me because I'm not God. Well, that means if it's not God, then it's from the demonic realm. This is why we need the protection, so we come under the full umbrella of what He's provided. In the olden days, they'd call it baptism. How many people have been born and died, have never been baptized, never been Christian, never been confirmed, never gone under ritual, never consistently attended church, never consistently prayed, never consistently had any type of prayer life or any type of ritual, uh, whether earth and energy or any type of form of religious education? How many people have never had that in the world? They've never had these things. They're not covered by anything. They're under witchcraft. They're under whatever comes on TV. Whatever comes to the magazine, they're under. So it's free will. Yeah, I got the free will. You have the free will to be destroyed too. This is why I said that 100% of these witchcraft attacks, they're coming from places you don't think they're coming from. From, just like I said earlier, jealousy, envy, manipulation, things from your lover's past that they've learned, that they've used on you. You think you're sincerely entering union with this person, and it's some type of manipulation game that's come as a product of how they've been destroyed and how they've been guided by their own free will desires to get a person. You say, well, hey, to some degree, you have to get a person. Well, you can attract a person too. If you attract a person, isn't that getting a person? Yeah. So you attract them through the spirit. They come into your life. And then you have to wait too. So then you have the patience part of it too. So this is a ritual involves waiting. Instantaneously, things can happen. The ritual can be done instantly. But the process of the long suffering and the waiting to see the morning come, That is a part of the anticipation, the beauty, the zest, and the savor of life that's given by Christ. So let's talk about the free will. This is what this is big in the spiritual community, because people say, well, you do have free. You absolutely do. And it's demonic. We're born in sin and shaped in iniquity. So I've been, person can look at me and say, you know what, I think you're XYZ. You know what, I don't share the same beliefs about what you think. So I see you as this. I'm going to treat you like that. I'm going to put you in a situation and put you in a box. I'm going to make you believe that you're something that. Do you see how you've been shaped in iniquity by the minds of sick and demonic people? When you operate purely from free will and love and say, oh, yeah, I freely love, I freely move, unconditional love, I love everyone, that's not godly. Doing whatever feels good, following every impulse, making decisions based solely on physical attraction or emotional chemistry, you're taking whatever path is set before you without any control. You think you have the control because it appeals to you. But those things are set up for you to accept them anyway. The enemy wants you to accept everything he puts forward in your life. That's why you have television stations, hundreds of television stations now. You get so much consumption, they don't even know what to consume next, because what do? Split the TV in half? Are we going to turn one TV into two? Because I don't even have enough time to watch all this TV, but they're forcing it down my throat. What do they gain by forcing television down people's throat and forcing the free will to do whatever you want to do down your throat? What do they get from it? Power, power over your life, power over your spiritual life. That's what they get. Because it's all free will, you have the illusion that you can do whatever you want. And the whole time, you're just completely ignoring what God has said. So this is why so many relationships that start with intense passion end in devastating pain. You've got to have a governor over your life, because your life is so precious. You, as an entity wrapped in flesh, are so precious to the Creator that you need governance over your life. You need a political regime over your life. And it's not called free will, because free will is automatic, born in sin and shaped in iniquity. That's what it actually is. So the demonic realm offers fast wins, instant chemistry, overwhelming desires. I've never had these types of experiences. The thrill of this, and who wouldn't want this type of thrill? That's demonic. But these are traps designed to pull you off your true romantic timeline. The solution is that rituals give you a path that's already been laid. It's already been laid for you. So you look at it, you find the rituals that appeal to you, the direction that you want to go in, the lifestyle you want to live, the things that you want to experience, the people you want to meet are wrapped in the ritual objectives. And those are the things that you choose. That's why I have so many different types of rituals, because they all are different. So if a person has a desire that goes in a certain direction, it wouldn't do very good, to have limits where they couldn't customize and to build their pathway and build their ritual timelines in a certain direction. So once clearing occurs through the ritual process and through the breaking of the blockages, so as soon as they're spellcast and placed upon you, what happens is you simply jump onto the active ritual timeline. one where love unfolds according to divine design rather than demonic manipulation. There are certain things that can happen to you when the rituals are cast upon you. Even demonic manipulation has its barriers, has its limitations, because the ritual objective must be fulfilled. This is by divine governance from the top. Your rituals align your free will toward the acceptable parameters of what God will allow for you. Instead of you wanting something that you can't have and killing yourself to obtain it, it's like following a path less traveled in romance while being blessed by synchronicity for choosing this route. We're going to stop here today. I thank you so much for tuning in to this podcast. Check out our shop at PsychicUnderLord.shop and PsychicUnderLord.etsy.com.